Welcome everybody, how are you? Bienvenidos a todos, ¿cómo están? Hello, hello. Okay, I think that everything is good. Okay. So yesterday, friends, we were creating the version of these bars, trying to adapt this design to window 1. As you can see, we try to keep all the details with curves, and also we had to make some modifications. We play with the right axis and then I needed to just multiply the items and move it into the right place, because in this case the array axis was not like in the exact with values that I could just like, I cannot use exact values like in the previous design, because in the previous design I don't know why it was easier, because maybe I don't remember, maybe because I use a square I don't remember. But here remember that borders we need to keep it like in the inside part, and we need to create the borders. So that's why in this case this is more difficult to do, but we just modify some things and we created the design. Okay friends, so today we're going to create the last version of the bars variation, and then maybe we can create a fifth window variation, but with that I think that we need to create more of these protections. Or maybe we can start with doors. Okay, so that is what we're going to do. Maybe we can start with those. So let me turn off my camera and we can start. Okay, here we have our window. Then let's see the other variation. Let me erase these lines. Okay. Okay, this is the other variation. Here we're going to have the same problem. Here we're going to have the same problem with the circle, because I think that it is not going to be... No, maybe not. Okay, let's create this. This one is easier, so let's start. Let me just hide this first. I'm going to have 9 lines in here, okay? Okay. We already have that. Let me create the two. I think that I'm going to do this maybe here. Maybe like that. Yes, we can leave it like that. Okay, now let's bring our circles, our just circles. I'm going to use this. And look, it seems that this one fits perfect. Yes. Maybe a little bit bigger. That. This one is better. Yes, this one is better. I'll go with that value. Okay, now I am just going to duplicate this and move it. No. Let me see. Again, let me see again. Okay. 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 I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Going to, yes, we don't have problems there. Change the depth in here. It's too much. This one looks better. What do you think? Or maybe it is too much. Maybe it is too much because this is thinner than this. Maybe we need to make this. Let me see the previous version. Or we can leave it like that. Yes, maybe we leave it like that. Okay, now I am going to duplicate this one, create the cuts, move the mirror, the pivot point in here, make the origin there, create a mirror, and then the array. Let me hide that. I'm going to delete, of course, this one. Convert this into mesh. Cursor to selected. Origin to 3D cursor. I'm going to use a mirror modifier, of course. Merge. Let me see the design. Okay, so we need to make cuts. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cursor to selected. Selection to cursor. Perfect. Okay, now we have to use the right modifier and also a mirror modifier to move this up. Let's see if we can use, remember that to use this modifier right now is a little bit difficult. Also another thing that I need to do is, oh, okay, let's check this again. Maybe I did something wrong. Okay, so we need to do this like that. Okay, great. then we have to just adjust this value. This is not going to be like exactly, but again, with the previous design, it was easier. Okay, maybe we can use that. It may not look perfect, but yeah, I'm going to use that. It is not like an exact value, but it looks pretty great. And now let's use the mirror modifier. It is going to be related to this part. Let me deactivate this just for a moment. What do you think about this design? It may not look like a real protection, but it is a design. So we are going to leave it like that. Let me compare with the other one. The other one looks like a little bit more secure, because maybe it was smaller or less wider, more like a rectangle. Maybe that is the reason. Yes, but I'm going to keep this. So here, let me first create the backup. I'm going to create a copy, move it here just for a moment. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to convert this into a mesh. Now let me copy these modifiers and delete this. Shade it smooth. Okay, let me change the name to Windows 1 Bars 8. I am already created the backup. I'm going to apply this modifier. Start to merge here. Okay, there's the only thing that I can do that. Before we do that, okay, before we finish with this part, Now I can duplicate by using to mesh. Okay. Great. Okay, so we finish the variations. Have all the variations. Maybe one thing that I should do is not fix. No, the word is fixed. Maybe the border, the inside border for window 4. Look here, for example, we have that, no problem. One moment. Okay, let's continue. For example, here, I think that we should create a border, the same thing here, the same thing here, these 3 variations. Let's do that. Let's hope that I don't have to do too much changes to fix that. Let me see. Have that. Let me find, for example, that is one of the, I want the one that is like crossed. No, what is the one that is, the lines are like from one side to the other side? I know which one. I think that I know. Okay, this is one. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay. But I have to do all of these changes. This one was difficult to create, I remember. Yes, I remember now. Let me start with the most difficult. Let me delete this one just for a moment. With the easiest one. This one, for example. I need to find the original file. I need to find the original asset. Okay, maybe this one. So the first one. Okay, this is what we have. I don't remember which one I used to close. I think that I don't have no, I don't have. I'm talking about the frame for this window. I don't have. I don't have a frame for this window. No, no, I don't have the frame for that window. That is not good. Let me see something. One more. Let me do this again. I have this and I have this. To the front. Separate it. Yes, I think that this is the frame. Okay, let's try with this one. Edge. Clear, sharp. One moment. That is too much. Origin to the center of the mass. Origin to the center of the mass. Oh. Ah, yes. Let's move cursor to selected. Selection to cursor. Great. Great. One moment, please. Okay. No, sure. Hello, welcome. We already finished all the window variations, but I want to fix the first variations that we did. 3 variations that I need to create the borders to make it look better. And look, what do you think? This is better. Let's compare. Look, the previous design had that like this connection, but by creating the same variation for the other windows, I noticed that I didn't add this part, and I think that these borders make look this more real and even better. So this is the new design. Look, for me this makes more sense. So I'm going to use this one. Okay. Now I think that we should do the same for this one. Mm. Okay, this is the new version, and this is the old version. For backup. Okay, now that we have all of this, the other piece that I need to create these changes is this one. This one is going to be really difficult. I have an idea. Hello, Alan Boomer, welcome. I am just fixing one more design in the Windows number 4, and then we already finished all the windows here. And we are going to continue creating now. We can create a fifth window variation, but I'll need that for later. Right now I'm going to start with doors. Let me just try to fix the design that I am saying that I need to fix. Yes, it is a really big project. I don't know what I was thinking about. Okay, this is the window that I need. Even just the windows so far. Yes, I am trying to create pieces that you can use for the projects that you want. Maybe you don't want the zombie city, you can keep this as clean normal houses and you have assets for everything. Yes, talking about that, your books, I don't remember, are about all of those of your books are about horror or like thrillers. What is your favorite genre for your books? Oh, okay. I remember that when I was my first book is actually scary to me. Okay. you um, you already finished the book completely, or you are like in the final parts of the edits of your book, or you are writing the book in live stream, like for example me doing this project? You create the book in you show the making of, or you already show the final result? How many books do you have? Okay, so you upload by chapters. Okay. You should use AI for to create the images of your chapters. But you said that you do art. You draw. You do digital art. I mean, you draw or illustrate or Photoshop, because it would be great if you have the visual while you narrate the books. I know that you are from the USA, but just maybe a recommendation, or not an advice, a recommendation. I don't know if you know Dross. Dross is a YouTuber. He is one of the first YouTuber that we had here in Latin America. Okay, you draw by hand or traces over. Great. That is really awesome. So you should try to see. I don't know if he still has his channel, because he's one of the first YouTuber in Latin America. He's from Venezuela, but I think that he left. He's living in Argentina. I don't know. I don't remember. He's one of the oldest YouTuber. When YouTube started, I think that he started with sharing his stories. The thing is, I think that he has a book, but I don't want to talk about the book. I want to talk about the style of the narrations, because he was known because of his style of how he narrates his stories. He always tried to narrate, to tell stories about, for example, ghosts, about when you visit an abandoned city, about those stories, those creepy stories. He take all of these stories that at that time all of us known by just sharing between us, and he create videos telling that stories in a creepy way, in a mysterious way, so people youngers at that time watch their videos to follow, like the how can I say this? It is like you want to hear the story from him, because he tell the same story that you know, that are, for example, you see at those times, I am talking about 2008, 2009, when YouTube was still young. You have these videos about mysterious ghosts that were recorded with a phone, something like that. So he took those stories and narrate in a way that you want to hear that. He doesn't do that anymore. He's like a legend right now. I think that he's retired. No, he's talking right now about wokism and all of those topics, but don't worry about that. Just follow him in his old videos, because maybe you can use that as a reference to make people to engage, to gain engagement for your stories, in the way that he tells the stories. That is very, very important. I don't know. That is just a suggestion that maybe you can follow or not. That is up to you. But I am talking about, and he was very famous because of that. Okay. The channel, I don't remember the channel, but the name is this. I am going to write here in the chat. That is the name of the YouTuber. You can find him, and I don't know if he still has the channel, because remember that then after, he was one of the first YouTubers, and most of the YouTubers at that time has no restrictions. For example, at those times, I remember that I used to watch music channels from guitar players, because I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. So at those times, YouTube had no copyright, so all the artists show you the song playing, how to play the songs, but then YouTube started with the restrictions, with the strikes and all of that, and I think that his channel was one of the banned channels. I don't know, because maybe that content was only for adults. I don't know. but he's like a legend. Again, he's very famous, and I don't know if the new generation right now know him. But if you talk here, if you want, maybe a Latin, an immigrant there in your country that is in his 30s, yes, in his 30s and or 40s, and you ask about Ross, he's going to tell, he's going to know him. Look like stories are there. Let me see, Ross Sank. Let me see. I think that I don't follow him because I don't follow his channel, but I know him. Let me see. Dross. Yes, I think that he's the one. He always. Look, he's still uploading videos. Look how many subscribers he have. 24 million. He's still uploading videos. I think that for a while he stopped creating videos, but I think that right now he returned to the videos. Yes, you can see inspiration from his channel. Let me see. No, I didn't know that he returned to the videos, because I remember that like 3-4 years ago he stopped doing videos, and he stopped to talk about Disney and about how they change all of this about woke, about those topics. He started to talk about that, and all of course people of the new generation didn't like him because it is, no, you cannot say that, you're going to be cancelled. And he's, I don't care, this is my opinion, and he's like that. This is why he's also a legend, because he didn't care. He doesn't care about the opinion of others. He just say what he think, and it doesn't matter. And look, he's very famous, so you can follow. Let me see one of his videos of the no, look, he returned to the videos. I didn't know that, but I remember that some of them, one channel was banned because of his opinion about Disney and the new Disney movies and all of those wokes and all of those topics. That was, of course, very controversial, but I think that YouTube banned his videos. So you can, like, if you are in this style of stories, you can see his channel, and let me see. he continued with the videos, but he has another channel, I think, where he just do live streams talking about all of those topics. I think that his videos are like 15 years ago. This channel is very old. Oh, I think that YouTube banned his channel, but he can gain it back. I don't remember, something like that. I didn't follow too much about. The way I narrate is I put the text from the story on the screen, and I do voices. Okay. Look, videos from 8 years ago. This channel is very, very old. You have a lot of inspiration here. The thing is that maybe, I don't know how YouTube is. Maybe if your horror is only for adults, I mean, it is very graphic, but you can try to look at his channel and use AI because drawing is maybe too much, and your main product in this case are your stories. So, for example, in my case, I don't want to use AI because in the artistic process, this is what I need to develop, this is what I need to train. But for example, in the writing, to write the description of the videos, I am not good at that, so I will use AI to help me in those areas that it is not my stronger area, something like that. So in your case, if your main product are your channel, are your stories, you can use AI to fast to make it to help your videos and to make graphics, because I think that people, I don't know, I maybe with the new, but I think that if I will follow a channel like this one, like horror, I would like to see, to watch what you are talking about. Maybe your audience, or maybe you have this best better how can better explored, and maybe you say no, because my audience only listen my videos like podcast and I don't need graphics. Okay, if that is the case, then you can continue with what you're doing. But again, if you are in YouTube, I think that you have to show something. And again, I am talking about someone that do not like follow this kind of content, but if I see something about this, I want to watch what you are talking about. Those are my thoughts. So yes, that is what I can suggest. I don't know, you can follow or not. That is up to you. Okay, here we have a problem. Here we have a problem because I need to close this part. And again, I can maybe have some inspiration from your characters and create the 3D version. Now that we are talking about this zombie post-apocalyptic project that I have, and I can use that for my, remember my the main idea, or no, the context of my project is we were a happy city, we had a happy city trying to have a better life with new opportunities of jobs, security levels great, all of those things. And then the corrupt politicians took over the power and they destroyed everything. They created a project for energy, like a nuclear plant. It was a disaster and all the city was destroyed and people were contaminated. Something like that is it is simple, and maybe it's a story that you hear every time when you see this kind of movies. It is simple, but I think that with that we can, like, it is a base, and with that we can create more things. I mean, for my project, of course. Here again. This is difficult to redo. I know what to do. I still like the premise of the story behind the zombie series. The thumbnails in my second and third man in the porn videos were made by its game tech. Okay, okay. No, yes, but I am saying that I made when maybe like have inspiration from your characters. I don't want to change anything that you have. Ah, yes, yes. One moment, please. One moment, one moment. No, copyright, copyright. Okay, friends, so let me go for somewhere, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back. And we'll continue talking. You talking about what channel? You say I'm his only subscriber now, but he makes amazing thumbnail story. You're talking about what? Ah, game tech. Let me see. One moment before I YouTube. Game tech, but there is a channel that is called Game Tech 2, and he has a lot of subscribers. Game Tech Talk, Game Tech. No, I cannot find any small channel with that. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'll go for some water. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. And let me check that channel. Game Tech. Okay. Okay. Let me see the video. I don't want to see because okay, let me see just with no sound. Okay. Okay, until Alan Bowman return, let's continue with the project. Okay, this is what we have here. Yeah, look at that. What is happening here? What is happening here? What? Why? Okay, I know what is happening here. Right. Okay. Now it is okay. Now it is in the place that it should be. Great. So this is what we have. I need to make this a little bit smaller. No, Windows 4 no. Windows Volkswagen. This one. This is what we have. Okay, I'm going to use this. Let me see. Okay, at the moment I check the channel. So that is your channel, another channel, or I don't want to have copyright issues. Ah, your friend. So he's creating your thumbnails right now, you say? Okay, like comics. I would like to see that. I mean, your stories with the comic style. Let me one moment. Let me finish this part. One moment. Just one moment. One moment, please. One moment. Okay, now let's see the channel of your friend. You said that I will not have copyright issues, okay? So let's see, I don't know, this one that is short. Oh, this one. I'm going to just... He created art with AI or he animated that by himself? It looks great. And if he do the art, because if AI, I don't. But if he do that by animating in the old traditional way, okay, I will support that. It looks great. And if you are using the AI for like this for your stories, okay, that is great. But it is your friend, so okay, let's support your friend's work. Okay, I subscribe to his channel. Him to make a comic book for me. Let's be honest. Okay, so I already subscribed to his channel to support his work because of you and your support for this channel. And let's hope that your channel with this style, it will be really great. And right now that you already have a visual, I mean, I can see what you are in your stories. I can see the characters and all of that. Maybe I will have better references if one day I can create some of your character in 3D. Okay, here to fix this. Let me see how this is looking. Yes, so it is good. It is not. One moment. Okay. Great. Okay. So now let's fix one part. Let's erase the other parts and just focus only on this, and then we use the mirror modifiers and all of that. You are paying him to make a comic book. Okay. Just be sure if he is using AI, try to don't have any trouble if you want to polish it. I mean, if he's using AI, I think that to make it like public and try to make money for that, you need to pay. I mean, for the AI service that if he's using, but if he's not, oh, that is really awesome. Great art. And okay, good luck with that. I would like to see that kind of content with those graphics and your stories. It will be really great. Okay, let's fix this thing. Okay. I already have one side, so let me delete all the other sides. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. Yes, let's do that. Okay, now let's delete all of this. Faces, faces. Let me create a mirror modifier, move it here, move it here. And when you're going to when the comic is going to be ready? we already finished. I said. I think that you didn't hear me, Alan Boomer, but I said if you have a link for your books. I think that I was my microphone off, so we can see any link, and people that want to get one of your stories can see the link. I don't know. Okay, we have that. Okay, so we finish. Yes, I was talking, but I was with my microphone off. Sorry, it was my fault. Now it is on. So if you have any link for your books, and we can see here, and maybe you can share your link. That is you have that in the PDF or what? Okay, we have that. Let's open window 1. No, window 4 was okay. So this was the last variation that we created. And now we're going to take a break for windows, and let's start with those. So the thing with doors, this is another problem. No problem. Another obstacle, another challenge. Okay, before we continue, let's check Alan Boomer one moment. I think that is in, but you have, you are saying about your videos. So let's see here. One moment, please. Why your channel is not appearing here? Sorry. Sorry, it was my fault. You said that the art was... This one looks good. Okay, you narrate here the book like... Let's give it a like.
But anyway... Floor and on the inside.
You know, it will be great if you have graphics for the videos. It would be better, I think. But for those who are new here, go and support Alan Boomer channel. He's saying that right now he's sharing his horror novels, his own creations here in YouTube. So go and follow him. Here you have his channel. Okay, let's continue. Let's talk about the next part of the project, but I think that we are not going to. Maybe we're going to start with something. Okay. About the new part. No problem. You're welcome. So, what is the problem right now with the doors? We already have 4 types of window with the bars. We can create a 5th version, and the 5th version is yes, because you remember that you are in YouTube. So in YouTube, people want to... I know that some people just put videos and do any other thing, but for this kind of stories, I think that it would be better if you have something to see. But because if you only want to do only audio, I think that maybe there are other platforms for that. Maybe, I don't know, Spotify or any other platforms. I mean, I'm talking about your public, your audience. Okay, I was saying that this is the 5th window that I would like to create. This window, like, look, it's like moving like outside the wall. I can say that maybe no, this is not very common. This is common, but not like common like the other ones. So maybe we can hold this design for a while, for a moment, and let's continue with doors. Okay, with doors, what is the problem with doors here? Not the problems, the challenge here for our designs. You can see that here in my country we have this kind of windows with these protections, like they are already in a post-apocalyptic look. We are already protecting ourselves from a disaster. So we already have this kind of protections, and this make our homes more like unique and more difficult to design, if we can call it like that. But this will be great, very great for our project, for our zombie apocalyptic abandoned city. Now, what happened with doors? As you can see, following the same context in our situation, on our story, doors, one of the main characteristics of our homes is that we want to protect ourselves. That's why you can see bars like jail in our windows. That's why the materials are like this. If you see these parts, we have this kind of metal that are like some kind of protections, and if you don't have these protections, we have electric wires, like electrify, those kind that when you see in movies, when you go to a protected area and said, do not cross, this is danger, something like that. Okay, some homes, if they don't have that, they pay a little bit more, and if they have money, they put this protection with electricity. So when thieves want to get in, it is going to be bad for them. And if you don't have money to put this and to put electric protection, the other common thing in our homes is that you have pieces of glass, of broken glass. When you have you get a balloon and you break, like when you want to start a fight in a bar, like you see in movies. Okay, those broken glass, we put that here in these borders, so when someone try to get in, it is going to cut his hands. That is the kind of protection that we have for our homes. And another protection that we have in our homes are doors. Okay, what happened with doors? As you can see, this door, for example, it is not wood. The material is metal. We have metallic doors to protect our homes. And again, following like a very unique design to make it look great. Look this example, metallic door with the same pattern, that trying to make a decoration from this protection. It is weird. Metallic door. Look, bars to protect another this garage. Let me see another. Look, metallic door. We have two doors here. One metallic door outside and one metallic door inside. Again, metallic doors, and inside it should be another metallic door. I think that these kind of doors are cheaper also. That's why people try to get those doors. And if you have a wooden door, like a normal house that you may see in another country, a normal door that have doors of wood, made of wood. If you have something like that, like in my case, the old house that we had, the one where I grew up, in that home, in that neighborhood, that door was made of wood, and it has outside this protective door from metal, made of metal. So the characteristic that I want to share is we need metallic doors. And if you have a wooden door, you may need a outside a metallic door. So with that we can create a lot of variations of doors. And even in the system, let me see. No, I don't have here a double door, no. Let me move references, middle house. Let me get these references that I have. Okay, here for example, we have a wood, look, here for example, look, a wooden door, just like the one that I told you. So you have the wooden door, the normal door, but again, outside you have this metal door to protect the door. So why I am saying that? Because this design, the doors is going to be challenging. The doors, the design of the doors is going to be challenged, because we can have one door like this one and one inside door like this one. So to try to leave the metal doors definitely would help to protect the house. Yes, that's why we have that. But again, to follow the context of my city, we keep the assembly. Yes, I that's why I'm saying that our homes are like made any if you want to have a riot in the city, our homes are made for that. It is going to protect. You're going to be protected. But right now, believe me, Alan Boomer, the situation is really bad, and this is not going to protect you from anything. Because when I was a child, when I was younger, I remember that we have this for protection, and we only have to protect ourselves from common thieves, from people that you know why we have the bars here like this, for example, in our homes. Because the normal thieves that we have the whole life, even in the past times, these bars are made so thieves cannot get inside and get your electronics, for example, your television, anything that you have inside your house, they cannot get, because the bars are going to, you can only like put your arm into inside. So the bars are going to block if you want to get something from the inside, because sometimes you have some decorations, and thieves, believe me, thieves made anything to get everything that they want, and maybe it is a piece of a small decoration that even cost more than $5, a cheaper decoration, and they want to steal that to get money for drugs. Those common thieves, we in the past and the whole life in our country, we have those common thieves that if you catch them in the act of the robbery, they will run, try to not be beaten from the neighborhood. He's going to run. But that is a common thief that we have. And of course, if you don't have if you go on a family trip and your house is not maybe with a good door, when you return, you're going to find that the door is broken and all the things inside the house are disappear. That's why you need a great protection. But right now, this is not a protection. Why? Because robbery right now is not the common as it was. Right now we have narco gangs, we have killers, paid killers, people that are paid to kill someone. We have those kind of mafia levels right now in our cities, and when they come to this, let's say that this house, the owner of this house is living a normal life here. The gang came to the neighborhood and started to make the neighborhood his own place. So he's saying, you if you want to continue living here with no danger, you need to pay me monthly $100, something like that, depending. If you have a business, they are going to charge you $1,000, and if you don't pay, they are going to come to your house and start to shoot fire with ammo, like they are like in the army, heavy armor, and start to shoot your house like in movies, like the Scarface movie. Is going to fill your house with bullets, and this is not going to do nothing to protect you. And that is not the worst scenario, the worst case. The worst case is that they come here at night and put a bomb outside your house. So this is not too much protection right now. But with that context, now you can see the really bad situation here in my country. But at least this is like a protection. Okay, right now I don't know how you're going to protect yourself, because you are not safe. If you are a target for these people, you are done. You just have to say goodbye to your friends and family. Yes, right now it is a disaster, and it is maybe it is not like, for example, if you can check, I think that our country right now is in the sixth place, in place number 6 of the most dangerous countries worldwide, I think. And it is because the government, the rich people that are in charge of the country right now are only taking care of their businesses, and they just make deals with the gangs, with the narco gangs, because let me share with you a little bit of the context of my country. Let me show you. I know some of you know about Pablo Escobar, right? In the 80s, Pablo Escobar here in Colombia, they were the drug lords. They were the first drug traffic lords in the 80s. I think that he started in the 80s. Then his empire, the whole drug problem started here in Chile, I think. Then he started and go to Colombia. In Colombia, you have how do you call that? Let me see, because now I'm going to. And that is the context for my store, for my game, for the zombie city that I am creating. Contrabando. Let me see, because I want to use the right words. Contrabando. Smuggling. Okay, smuggling. The illegal businesses here in our region was smuggling. You pay for less than it should be. You don't pay taxes, and you traffic TVs, electronics without paying taxes. You make the smuggling in the whole borders, in the whole territories. Okay, in the 80s started the problems with drugs, and it expanded. It go to Mexico, because the cartels then go to Mexico. What happened is that the United States start to battle against Colombia, and I don't want to be offensive, but believe me that here in our region, we all know that the United States are with this business. I don't want to offend, maybe some people are here, like my friend Alan Boomer, he's from the United States, but I don't want to say that the people from the United States, I mean the politicians. Right now, the politicians are the problem. So the DEA okay, great. So the DEA it is supposed to control the drug traffic, right? I think that this stream is going to be banned. They are supposed to control, but no, man, they are making business with all this drug problem. We all know in the region that the United States politicians want to control a region. They put, I don't know if you hear about Plan Condor. In the 70s, they put dictators all over our region. They put dictators to control the whole region because they had the Cold War with the USSR at those times. Then Cuba put missiles here directly to the United States, and we were like close to a third World War III. We were close to that, but no. So the United States controlled the whole region with their puppets. Our presidents, our dictators at those times were puppets. Okay, so they always control with agencies, with the spy agencies, our countries. They had Pablo Escobar here, and the problem is when the drug dealers, the drug lords, want to don't make more businesses with the important people here in the United States. Then they became a problem, and it is like, I don't remember why they started to chase Pablo Escobar, because I think that they killed a DEA agent. I think that is that. And so if you kill a USA citizen, then you have a problem with the USA. I think that something like that happened. I don't know. Then they started to hunt Pablo Escobar and all. He was in Medellin, in this region. Where is Medellin? I don't know Colombia, just in case. Here, their friends, the drug traffickers, were in this region. But you also had another region here in Cali. These were like Pablo Escobar and his friends were more like let me see the word. Like rural, like countryman, like rural, like peasant. No, I don't know if this is the right word. But they were from the rural area. But in Cali, Colombia, they were businessmen. These people were the ones that were really well dressed with a suit and all of that. They were businessmen. So they make deals with the government to defeat the Pablo Escobar and his friends. They destroy the whole cartel here, and then there were the kings. The problem is that they also had problems with the government, and then they started some guerrillas. Guerrillas is the word. Let me see. Maybe this. Yes, guerrillas. Guerrillas, yes, that is the word. Okay, all of those people that were not against the drug people, because Pablo Escobar killed a lot of people, and the drug lords, the narco gangs killed a lot of people, and some of these people create their own defensive armies. Something like that. And some people that were out of the army, of the Colombia army, they also create their own forces because they don't know what else to do, and all of these other like separated armies, individual armies, they started with the drug production. So the business was taken from the main lord, the drug lords. They were taken and they were like delivered to the other smaller groups. Mexico took now they were the bigger with the drug traffic, and again United States tried to end the business, but again they just make deals, they destroy. there was, I don't remember the name of the big drug dealer, the drug lord here. He unified the whole cartel, groups of Mexico into one big cartel. The problem was that they wanted more money, more power, and they separated, and they were separated cartels. I think that you know Chapo Guzman, right? That is one of their famous drug lords there. Now the problem with my country here, Ecuador. Just a moment. I'll be back in a moment. Give me just 3 minutes, okay? I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. This is very important about the context of my country right now and why we are a very, very dangerous country right now. Okay, now in the 90s, Pablo Escobar were killed, and all the problem that I already explained to you about the drug lords. What happened in my country? My country always were a poor country. Always was a poor country. Always. When we were part of the Spanish Empire, we have before the 90s we have this territory like this. We were bigger than this, but because we always were smaller and our politicians were a disaster, always they only wanted to take care of their businesses, so they make deals with other countries, and they doesn't matter to protect the territory, and they just give land to other people. So my country before the 90s were this territory. We always had problems with Peru. We was at war with Peru. Peru and Colombia and all the other countries were bigger than us, better armies. I don't know how we survived, to be honest. I don't know how we still are a country. When we get independent from the Spanish Empire in the 1800, in those times, in that century, we were this big country. From Panama to Ecuador, all of this part, Colombia, Venezuela, all of this, and some part of the Guyana, all of these were a big country, but we were separated because of the politicians. Again, they wanted their businesses and they create individual countries just like that. We were at war. We lost territories with Colombia. We lost territories in the 90s with Peru. What happened in my country? My country in the 70s, they discovered oil. I mean, there was an oil boom, something like that. So my country started to let USA companies to come and invest money to start to create some these like places where you extract the fuel, the oil. Here in the Amazonia, this is pure forest. We also had the Amazonas River. We had that before Peru get our territory in this part. Okay, so this part here in the Amazonia, in this region that is like for this is like tropical forest. You find this is when you ever see like Green Inferno, that movie, that horror movie from cannibals and all of that. It is not like that, but you have an idea. Their territories were like that, but in the past. I'm talking about a long time ago. Right now you have cities and all of that, but most of the territory is like that. Okay. So my country, the politicians in my country only take care about this region and this region. Also we have the Galapagos Island. What is the Galapagos Island? We have that in our country. And the capital city is here. My country is divided in 4 regions. The Amazonia, that is the tropical forest, where you find a lot of unique fauna, unique trees, unique plants, very rare things here. You have national protected parks in here. We have the middle region, that is the highlands. You have a lot of mountains here. We have one of the biggest volcanoes. We have a lot of volcanoes and mountains here. This climate is very cold, and this is very up from the level C is higher. And we have the coast, the country the region that is near the ocean, because this is the ocean. I live here in this city. And we have the Galapagos Island, that is for investigation and scientific research, and famous people come here and took photos and all of that. It is a touristic place. Okay, the politicians in my country always fight against each other. They took power and they are from the highlands or they are from the coast. And here we have like rich families that made a lot of money from cacao, bananas, all of these common goods, to exporting those kind of goods. And they didn't pay too much attention to this region. That's why Peru stole that part. Okay, that is another thing. The problem in my country, it became poor because they made business from the fuel, but all the money goes for their families. And they never invested in education, never invested in public health services, never invested. We were a disaster. And the bigger problem that started with all these narco lords is that we have a strategic, my city is a strategic port. In the past, when we were in the Spanish Empire, we always have attacks from pirates because this was a rich port. This is a rich port, the most important port, and this region is really strategic. This port is really strategic in the whole part of the continent, in the South America part, in the south part of the America continent. This is very strategic. My city, especially my city. And until the 90s, we had a local currency, but our politicians, it was like a strategic guided by the politicians in the United States to destroy the national currency. So at the end of the 90s, the president ended our local currency, our national currency, and we started to use US dollars. Dollars from the United States. So we have like local versions, but the money that we use here, I think that we cannot use in the United States. But if we have the dollars with the face of your presidents, of course that we can use. So if I go to the United States, I can use the money that I have in your country because it's the same currency. So at the beginning of the 2000, in that century, we started to use dollars. We lost the territory, a lot of people go outside the country, because with this change of currency, a lot of people lost everything. They lost their businesses, they lost their houses. It was a disaster. Some of people commit, I don't want to say the word because YouTube may ban the channel, but I think that you understand. So a lot of people migrate to the United States, they migrate to Europe, to Spain. There was a lot of immigration to other parts. A lot of people run out the country to have a better opportunity because they lost everything here. It was a really disaster. And like we changes of presidents a lot. We had the presidents 2 years, then it was protest all over in the capital city, and the army didn't support the president anymore, and the president need to escape, to save himself. It happened a lot of time. We have our presidents only last like 2 years, 3 years. They never completed the full period. And in 2006, a new movement of left parties were united, and they gained the power. That power was over 10 years until 2017. During those 10 years, our country started to grow. We have better opportunity, we have better education. People go to the outside because you have the opportunity to gain, how do you say this? Let me see the word. Scholarships. The government pay full scholarships if you pass like an exam. If you have a really special surgery, like life or death surgery, the government pay you and let you go to another country to have that intervention, so you can save yourself and you don't have to pay anything, because with your taxes, with our taxes, the government create programs for the people. We started to have more. We created a lot of installations to have a strong national power system, electricity, because in the past the rich people buy like ships to provide us electricity. So these politicians that were in charge buy their own the private installation, and they sold energy to their own country. So they make business with that. So the new government destroy all of that and say no, the money for the people is for the people. So we started to create a lot of installations that would provide energy for us, so we do not need to buy energy from these individuals. And our country, believe me, were started to increase the level, the quality of level. We were better, robbery goes down, but the problem was with Colombia and Peru, because Colombia started their war with the narco lords, and in the border, those guerrillas started to go inside. Our government, this new government, tried to fight back, to not let in those narco gangs, those guerrillas, because there were no narco gangs. But at the end at the mid of this, one moment, please, just 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. It's been interesting learning about your country, even if some of the story is the present. Yes, yes. Okay, let's continue. Let me. Now that I'm talking, now you can see my face. Okay, let's continue because then the story is going to become more interesting. Okay. This was my president, the president that the people had in these 10 years when the country started to increase to increase. The numbers were really good. We were growing as a country. We had great opportunities. This was the president. He was the president that we have for 10 years. We have stability. We have great opportunities for the childs. You can go to the better universities for free with scholarships. Believe me, because he believes that these kind of things, these social programs, help people, and with these people, with these new professionals, you can come back to your country and build interesting projects. So he helped our country to grow. Okay, we were in prosperity, if that is the right word. One moment, no copyright, no copyright. Okay. So he gave us hope, the hope that we didn't have from a long time. He gave us hope. What happened, friends? What happened? At the mid, maybe 2014, something like that. Sorry. In my country, started to came new mafia lords. Mafia from Europe, specifically from, where is the country? Where is this? Where are those? From Serbia and from, where is Albania? Albania. Where? Albania. I don't know where is where Albania is. Albania. I don't know where is Albania. Here. From these territories, new people, new mafia lords started to came to our country. But our president at that time, he noticed the problem and he tried to stop that. He put a lot of these mafia lords in jail. Okay. And until 2017, he stopped for being president, and he thought that his new candidate, his friend, he was going to continue with the project. Then they come this guy, this man here. He betrayed the full party. He betrayed the voters. I vote for him. He betrayed us. And I forgot to tell you something. Because he focused on social programs to give us better opportunities, the rich families were angry because they lost businesses. They want more money and more power. And this president take that from them to give to the people. So the rich groups were very angry, and they wanted to find ways to take him off from the presidency, from the power. When he left the presidency, he left in charge. There were elections, and the next his successor was one of his friends, this man, and he betrayed the full project. He betrayed the party. He betrayed the voters. the people who vote for there, and he make deals with this rich group, these rich families, the ones that were in charge of the country all the years, the ones that keep my country being poor, the ones that keep my country like a disaster. He make deals with those people. He betrayed. He started to hunt the people, the people from the same party that don't didn't want to join him. So a lot of people of this party start to go to Venezuela, to Mexico, and the president he lived in he lives right now in Belgium because his wife is from that country. What is Belgium? Something like I don't know the where that country is, but here. Now the president lives here because his wife is in there and his family is in there. And all the people that don't want to betray, they run to another country so they can escape from this traitor because he is a traitor. Then came the 2020. Do you remember what happened in 2020? Right, the pandemic. He made businesses from hospitals. He started to give hospitals, the public hospitals that the other president built, he started to give to their friends. Yes, 2020. He started to give the public hospitals the services, I mean, for masks, for treatments. He started to give to these rich, to their friends. He started to give the business to their friends, and people were dying. A lot of people die in the street. My city was like a cemetery because you can see people dying, and you can see the corpse in the street just with a piece of cloth covered, because he destroyed everything that we had. The public system he destroyed. And if you want to get masks and all of that, they put bigger prices for the masks and for the treatments. Then protest against. He gave more money to the rich family for the fuel business. Then were election, and he came to power. He is one of the most rich person in my country. He was the owner of one of the important banks here in my country. So he's one of these rich people. The only good thing, I have to be honest, the only good thing that he did was the vaccines. Because remember that after the pandemic in the 2021, I think we have the vaccines. So I have to be honest, he made a great program, and all of the people can get their vaccines. That is the only thing that he made good. But in his government, remember that I told you that Albania and Serbia mafias started to come to Ecuador. During the traitor, when the traitor was in power, the people that were in jail, the mafia that were in jail, he started to give the jails, the centers, the installations to the new mafias. You mafia, you want a place to make your businesses, you have this jail. You, another group, you have this jail. He destroyed everything. He destroyed everything. And some of these mafia lords were in charge, were starting to grow. These businesses were starting to grow. And when he came to power, in the election day, he came to power, then the disaster exploded. The Albanian mafia started to make a lot of businesses, laundry businesses, because when you know, when you have a lot of money from illegal businesses, you have to find a way to make that money legal. So they started to create new businesses. in cash, pay in cash, a lot of things, a lot of buildings, like complex, touristic complex, touristic programs, all of that. New rich people started to appear, but it was from illegal money. And when illegal money came, also problems came, and the levels of insecurity of robberies and of murders started to increase, because the groups that were now with power started to fight against each other. So then massacres. Let me see the word. Let me see the word. Yes,
Massacres.
massacres in jails. That was common, because they were fighting. The gangs were fighting for power. They started to take power from the ports here. Ports here in Manta. Manta is another city where you have a great ports here. So they started to have power on these territories. And remember that I told you that Colombia and Peru was also our neighbors, but they also started to fight against the no in these dates, no, but one thing that Colombia has, like 7 installations, not installations, but 7 agencies from the United States to fight against drug traffic, something like that. But as you can see, they do nothing. And the mafia lords started to create ways to import. So the guerrillas here that have the drug, the plantation, the production of drugs, they started to move their product to my country, from Peru and from Colombia. And the weapons that these narco gangs started to use came from the USA. it is really amazing how they are supposed to be in control. And as I told you, past in the days, you have the thieves were only with a knife and with maybe a gun, if they were lucky. What happened here? Why the okay. Okay. So the thieves at those times were with knives, with simple knives, and they like took your cell phone and they run. Like that were robberies. But since his presidency, these people, the mafias, were more became more powerful. So they started to use arms, weapons, like they are in the army, like that. We never seen that before. Like you see in Mexican movies, like that. They started to have that. And in his country, in his government, a lot of these new businesses with laundry money started to grow. They again do nothing for the public system. Education was a disaster. People started again, like in the 90s, to go to another countries. What happened with? Okay. And a few years ago, people were really mad. Hello Girish, welcome. I am saying you context about my zombie project that is with real life troubles that we have right now. It is related. These people, this guy was murdered. This guy was murdered. He was one of his friends. But because people were really angry, because my country started to be a disaster again, they try. I want to say to use the word suppose, so I don't have legal problems. But a lot of people know this. He started to blackmail the people in charge. He started to blackmail this guy and other politicians that were really powerful, because this guy was not good. He worked for the I don't know if the FBI or the CIA, those agencies from the USA. He was like an spy, something like that. So he knew a lot of these illegal businesses that were here in my country, and he started to blackmail the politicians to say, if you want me to be with my mouth shut, you have to pay me, something like that. And he was candidate for the presidency. But the party from this man, the one that I told you that was one of the greatest president that we had, they banned his country. I remember that there was a hunt against these people. He created a new party, and this party was with very high possibilities to return to power and fix this whole problem. So to avoid that, the rich people, I want to say they use suppose, let's say, I don't want to say names, so I don't want to have legal problems. These people was murdered. This guy was murdered by I want to say that their own people like create a conspiracy and murder him. But the government from this, the people from this, and the rich people that controls the media, the news, all the news, they started to say to blame this guy, the one that one was one of the best presidents that we had. They started to blame him. They say they kill him. They kill him because they don't want him to become the president, because he's going to take all to show us all the illegal things that he did in his government, and they blame him. And I want to say we, because I vote for this guy. We lost, and they gained power again, and the new president became this guy. My friends, this guy is a disaster. This is the son of one of the richest people here in my country. He is trying to get revenge because the good president that we had took one of his businesses because they didn't want to pay taxes. These people became rich because they don't want to pay taxes. They want all the businesses from the state want the money to go to their families, and he's trying to get revenge for that, for what this good government made to his father. I don't know, something like that. And he started to only focus on his businesses. We had no security. The police, the army started. The high rank army started to make deals with narco gangs. When people found, I don't know, drug or something like that in some territories, that disappeared, the money disappeared. The army, the police are with the narco gangs making money, and my country, and then Petro came to power here to Colombia, and he started to fight against the narco guerrillas. These narco guerrillas started to enter to my territory. So they produce in Colombia, in Peru, they produce the drug, and they trade that into my country, and my country exported that to the USA, and right now the great destination is Europe, especially not especially, because they have problems in Spain, they have problems in the Netherlands, in Belgium, in all the ports in Europe. Now the country came from Ecuador, because I already told you that my city had one of the best ports in the region, in the full region. So right now my country is like a narco country, because this guy is doing nothing. He destroyed. He's a disaster, and his government, all the people in his government is a disaster. Believe me. They don't. They are like the sons and daughters from the rich people came into power. Like the bullies from the high school came to power, and they started to hunt again people that are against him. So now the party that I support, the party from the good president that we had, is against almost like this to disappear, because this guy is trying to make everything to be in charge. And right now his party and the party that I support are the two biggest parties. All the other parties go to this guy because he buy people. He pay you money and you have to just obey. So he gained power by buying people, making businesses. And right now that is my country. Last year the violent problems that we had was like this. We increased number of murders like never before. I think that we reached some records in deaths, because we have gangs, and gangs are fighting for power. So now in my country, now with the returning to the project, you see that this said se vende. It is like this house is for sale. It's in sale because people are trying to run from neighborhoods, so they get killed by the narco gangs that are now in power. And right now the USA is trying to create a plan to cover the whole region. That's why they have Javier Milei in Argentina. They won the presidency in Chile. They won in I'll be back. I'm going to get something. Okay. I am going to finish in just a few minutes. They gain power in Bolivia. They gain power in Chile, in Paraguay. In Argentina they have Javier Milei. In Peru they have another president from the power. In Venezuela, you saw that they just get into Venezuela, break into Venezuela and got the president. In Ecuador they have this guy. They were so close to take the Galapagos Island because it is a strategic position against China. This is a strategic position. And right now they want Colombia. Colombia is like the big prize right now. And as you can see, it is like remember that I told you what happened in the 80s, in the 70s with the dictators? It is like a second version of that plan. They are trying to get the full region for the USA. So now we have USA soldiers in the ports. They are doing nothing. He paid a mercenary from the USA to came here and train our forces, and he was only to make campaign for this guy, talking bad things about the candidate that I support, the party that I support. So that's why my country right now is a disaster. Believe me, friends, I don't want to be, I am not like exaggerating things, but if you check the news, you're going to find all of these things. People are dying outside the hospitals because the hospital, look, people are dying outside the hospitals. We don't have medicines. Look, people are like this, waiting outside for service. The buildings are like falling apart because they didn't pay to maintain the building. You can find trash outside the hospital. Right now it is like an abandoned city. And in some places to say we are fighting against the gangs, you can find army in the streets. But they are not doing nothing. The prisoners are dying from tuberculosis. People are again, going outside the country because we don't have opportunities right now. So they are going again, like in the 90s, to the USA and to Europe. And that is the context of my country. So to return to our project, now you see why this is I want to share like those stories in a game that I want to make with this big project, this big project. It is going to be, of course, fiction because we're going to have zombies, but it is to make like people to get the attention of people, and I can tell all of these stories in a game based on the real problems that we have in my country. So that's why you can see the houses like this, and this right now is not protection for anything. Believe me, that is the problem right now. It is sad, the reality, but we just have to wait and try to. You cannot even have a business, a physical shop, like your own place for business, because you don't know what gang is in charge of that territory and how much you have to pay to let you live. There are some businesses that are like in very public areas that okay, they can work, but until if there is 6 p.m. everyone try to close everything, all of the businesses, so they can be safe. And like that, you can go in the street, visit, you can go eat restaurants and all of that, and you don't know if you are going to come back alive to your house because you don't know if that place is a target for someone that is maybe chased by a rival gang, and you don't know if you are in the middle of that fight. You don't know. That's why last year we break records of murders, and that's how my country is. I don't know, we are so close to disappear. Believe me, I don't know how my country is still exists with all of these problems. And the only people that have money right now are the family, because the businesses return to them, the public services to them, the companies that export something is for them. Businesses are only for them. Right now they want to, not only fuel, right now they want also the precious metals that you can find in, how do you say this word? One moment please. In mines. In mines. Right now they are starting to explore all of these places here in the highlands, here in the south, because here you have a lot of mines. They are starting to own all of these territories. People in these communities are fighting against the gangs and against the army, the national army, because the government, these rich people are trying to get all of these territories for their businesses. Here in this region, again, the same thing, mines, they are trying to get everything. And all the drug that is get outside from these ports, some of them are from his companies. He has companies, and the drug is from his ships. They always say no. I don't know how the drugs get into my ships. You could have got another good person. Yes. Right now, this guy, the good president that we have, is fighting again in the exile. my president, the president that we had, the good president we had, is in exile right now, and he cannot return because the day that he returned to my country, he's going to put him in jail. Right now, he's blaming for all the problems that we have, for all the assassinations, for all the narco problems. He's blaming the president that we have. He's blaming him. He and his group and his friends is blaming for all the problems, for all the public disaster, for all the emergencies, for the lack of medicines, the lack of opportunities of educations, all the public buildings falling apart. For all the problems that we have right now, he's blaming he and his party. And right now, as I told you before, his party is trying to get rid of his party, and he's going to be the only party right now in my country. He's going to have all the power because right now he and his people have all the public institutions in his service. Because right now you don't only have like if you don't obey him, you're going to be in jail, something like that. That is the situation of my country, and right now I don't see how we're going to, and they always lie. Right now he's traveling to this place. He travels a lot to this place, to Panama. Panama is like how do you say this? A heaven. Let me see. Paraíso fiscal. Let me see this word. Tax heaven. So Panama is like that. He is trying to get rid of all restrictions, so they made businesses with no regulations, with no taxes. So more money to he and his friends. And he's also traveling to this part of the region, to this part of the world, to, what is Dubai? To the United Arab Emirates. In this region, right now you have the new narco lords. Remember that I told you that in the 80s you have in Colombia, and also then in the 90s you have in Mexico, and in the 2000s you have also in Mexico. Right now the narco lords are living here in this United Arab Emirates. You have no regulation here. Here you have no problem with businesses. So this guy is now making all their businesses here, and he's not even in the country. Since we won in the, remember that I made campaign, I created a special live stream to show you some animations. I made campaign against his government when we had election day in, let me show you. Remember these shorts that I created? I was trying to show to the people the lies of this guy. Let me my face. So I created these shorts, these 3 shorts that you see here. Against, it was a campaign for myself. No one pays me. A lot of people that are tired of this guy and his friends create their own individual campaigns. Artists, musicians, politicians, teachers from universities, all individuals create their own campaigns against his government for election day that was in November. And here I show you an animation that I made in Blender with my campaign. You have the full live stream that I created. Here in that live stream I talk about politics, but I show you animations that you can use. I created these animations. You can see the final result here. For example, this animation I did in Blender.
No son bases libres.
Sorry.
¿Por qué no son?
This animation I did in Blender. This another animation I did in Blender. You have the full streaming where I show you how to create these animations, but I made my campaign against the government with Blender, with art. And the last one that was 3D. Here I show all the lies of these people, because these people is, believe me, they lie. They are like the bullies in high school. And I show you how to create this other animation. You have the full live stream where you can, don't pay attention to the politics, just pay attention to the 3D art and the 2D art. And there you have, I created, this was my campaign against these people. Okay friends, we're really late right now. Yes, so this zombie city is going to be one of my most ambitious project, because it is my way to protest against these people. I'm going to create a game and videos, at least animations, to talk about the corruption of these people and how they are destroying. So this context of the zombie city, I know that it is fiction, but it is to show like to get the attention of people, and to let worldwide, to let all the people around the world to know how corrupt these people are, and to expose worldwide the problem of my country, because these people have the power over the news, have the power over the newspapers, the digital medias. They had a lot of troll centers to destroy. If you are important, they want to destroy you. They have all the power right now in my country. So friends, I hope that you like the story, but right now we have to go. Now I know that you have a lot of context. All of the stories that I told you, you can look by yourself. You can investigate by yourself. All about Pablo Escobar, about Colombia, about Mexico, about the Albania mafia, the Serbia mafias coming to my country, the power of the USA trying to control the whole region. Now Trump, what is the name of this of Trump? Donald Trump, trying to be the owner of my region, and with that putting in charge a lot of puppets, like in Argentina, like in Chile, like in Venezuela, for example. Venezuela right now is a puppet to make more money and control the full America continent, because America is the continent. We are at South America. So I think that right now you have more context. And again, I don't want to be offensive against the people of the USA. I don't want to talk about the people, the citizens. I don't want to talk about you. If someone here in the USA, like for example Alan Boomer is here, and I don't want to say bad things about your people. I want to show you what the politicians are doing. Yes, but yes, it is. You can right now. The ICE is hunting our people in your cities. You knew about the case of the Ecuadorian child. I don't know, Alan Boomer, if you knew about Liam Conejo, about this boy. I don't know if you knew the case about this one, that the ICE put him into jail. He's from Ecuador. His dad is from Ecuador. He's one of the people that get out from my country because my country is a disaster. So they went to the USA to have better opportunities, and my government did nothing for this guy. he did nothing, and when he appeared in the news, they say we are working with the USA because we are great allies. And no, man, USA didn't know that you exist. For the USA, you are nothing. And the politicians in my country, the ones that are in charge, the corrupt ones, saying we tried to do something for this poor child, but they didn't want us to collaborate. Of course that they don't want you to collaborate, because you said that his father was like how they say, like let me see the word, a delinquent, a felon, something like that. You said that in public. How his family is going to want your help because you do nothing for the people that are now the immigration centers, the representatives of my country in other countries do nothing for the people that are immigrants. They do nothing to help them. They do nothing right now. They do nothing in my country, and they do nothing for the people that is outside the country. Okay, that was the story of today. You can search by yourself all this information. It was very difficult because, as you can see, I am not an English speaker, and most of the words that I wanted to use were really hard words. Even in Spanish, there were very formal words that I don't know how to say that in English, so I try to keep it simple. I hope that the people here understand me. And again, the problem is not with the citizens. The problem is not with the. Yes, it is very difficult, but I know that I have to improve my pronunciation at least. The important thing is that you can understand me. If I can make myself for you that you can understand me, I think that it is good. I know that I have to improve my pronunciation, my English, my grammar. I know. But I am doing this by myself. So that's why I also like trying to come here and speak in English for all of you around the world. It is like a way for me to practice my English. And again, people here, artists, if you have a project, don't the art is a way to protest, about the bad things that happen to all of us. I think that all of us share. We have some common problems. The problems most of the times are because of the politicians. But okay, you don't have to blame everything. No, you don't have to say I do nothing because everything is blamed. The fault is of the politician. No, you have to can protest, but you have to keep working. You have to keep trying to have a better life. That is the final message. With that, I don't know if Alan Boomer have maybe inspiration for these horror stories. Maybe he can create a new story based in this. Believe me, if Netflix create a show, Netflix can make a lot of money with some of my local realities of the realities of my country, because it could be great to create a show based on all the stories that I just told you. And I just told you, trying for you so you can understand me, because I can say this story is well better in Spanish, because a lot of words I try to, because again I don't know too many words in English, so I try to keep it simple. But you can make your own research and create your art, create your stories, and all of that. My art, my piece of work, of project, is this project, the Abandoned Zombie City. With that, I'm going to share worldwide the problems of my country. Let's hope that nothing happened to me in the future when I became famous. Okay, for now I am safe, because I am no one right now. I am just a small channel, and no one is paying attention to me right now. So for now I'm safe. So that's all, friends. That's all. Friends, I want to ask you something. I was doing some research, and I told you that I want to make better things for the channel. and I am learning new software for 3D art. So I am thinking about buying a 3D printer. I have two options, and I made some research, and I found good options from less than $500, and I can try to get that money and buy a new printer, and with that we can create new content, 3D printed content for the channel and for all of you. Of course that I have to pay more because in my country most of the deliveries for the 3D printers are not allowed in my country, so I have to make a lot of things to try to get one of the printers. But I'll find a way. But I don't know if 3D printer content will. Yes, I want to do that. But also I found okay. I found a great options for resin printers, and with resin printers we can create all the sculptures that we can print all the sculptures that we created here. So I don't know if we can create something to support the purchase of that printer, because right now I don't have the money, but with your help I can get the money, but I want to give you something in back. So I don't know if you like the idea, if you want to help, so we can create maybe, I don't know. I think that it will be really difficult to deliver the final product to your country. It will be really difficult and really expensive, but at least I can deliver with you the files, so you have local printer stores, you can get that by yourself. So the people that support the project of the purchase can get in exchange the file created here by me, and I want to print it first, of course, and then I will give you something like that. I don't know if you like this that, please let me know so I can create something, or if not, if that is not the situation right now, don't worry, I will find a way to get money right now. But right now I don't have the money for the printers, but I'm excited to get one of those. Maybe in the future, but it is going to be soon, I guess. So that's all that I wanted to say for today. We're going to finish, friends, and we're going to start with doors. Now that I already told you the context about doors and all of that, we're going to start on Monday with this project. And again, doors are going to be a little bit challenging because we have this special doors design. So I want to create a standard. No problem. I am just saying goodbye. The last few words. So we are going to. Okay. Yes, I'm also. In a few minutes, I'll go for lunch too. So okay, friends. Let's say goodbye for now. Again, we're going to continue with this on Monday. Monday, we're going to start with doors. You already now know the context of the doors and how the design is going to be. It is going to be a little bit challenging, so here we have to find new strategies to create a standard form to create multiple designs for doors, the 2 doors, the 1 door, metal door. We're going to find different ways. Okay, so that's all, friends. That's all for today. Thanks for coming. Please remember to subscribe, give it a like, share this content with others, leave a comment below. Follow me on Twitch and Kik, my social media accounts, X, Instagram and TikTok. You can find me as Ferran Salazar. And if you want, please tell me if you like this kind of politician stories. If you want to know more about, I have a lot of stories that it may be interesting. You can maybe create your own art. We have a lot of stories. I can tell you a lot of stories. If you want, maybe we can, at the end of the streaming, extend the streaming, or at nights we can have nights only for stories. I don't know. No, but they have to relate to 3D. Maybe at weekends we can do that. We can do this. Maybe we can have goals. If we reach maybe $5 a day for now, we can extend the streaming to create the stories, we can do that if you want. I don't know, or we once in a while I can tell you one of my stories here. Of course, it's going to be related with the 3D. What else? You can join to the Discord server. You can share things about 3D, and also you'll find resources. Right now, I promised you two things. I promise you to create maybe Notion, so you can have some of the notes that I take. You'll have that for free in the Notion site, and you can have like a step by step some of the methods that I use, some of the methods that I apply. And the good thing about that is with Notion, I can update the information of that, depending if maybe the Blender is in a new version and new methods are using. You'll have the update of that. So that is something that I am planning, and also the special streaming for beginners, because some of you came here and want to learn about the software. So I promise you to create a special streaming only for beginners, but it's going to take a while. Maybe not. I think that this weekend, maybe the next weekend, I can have time to start working on that. Okay, what else? If you want me to collaborate with your project as a freelancer, you can contact me. There's my email there, the social media accounts, the LinkedIn page. You can create a project on Upwork, a CE Trader, and send me there too. If you want to know what kind of computer I am using, you have the KitGo link, and that's how you're going to find all the components that I use for my PC, and those links are going to send you directly to Amazon, where you're going to find more information, of course. And finally, if you want to support my work, you have super thanks, super sticker, super chats. Right now I am fighting against the views, because remember that I told you that maybe this week we are going to the views were getting down, really down. But right now, these days, we're like fighting against that number, and we're fighting not to go to the lowest number, so the monetization disappear completely. So for now, you still have the opportunity to support my work with super thanks, super chats, super stickers, and memberships. We also have a PayPal link. And even better, you can get one of my models. If you want assets for your games and animation, you can visit my Turbo store. If you want sculptures for 3D printing, you can visit my Corsair store. And also you have CE Trader, a third option where you're going to find both assets and sculptures, and also exclusive low poly environments. So that's all for today, friends. Thanks for coming. Thank you for your support. Go and follow Alan Boomer to his channel. Alan Boomer is going to improve, create graphics for his stories. Maybe you can collaborate. If you are an artist, you can also ask him for a collaboration. Maybe you can create stories too, or maybe comic. He wants to create his own comic for their stories, so it will be great. Yes, it's been a good stream. Yes, on Fridays we can do that. We can extend our streaming time. And again, tomorrow and Sunday you'll have the new videos for the Executor. Remember that we're creating Executor. I am uploading the videos from the Executor project. You'll have 2 new videos, one tomorrow and one on Sunday. Yes, and that's all. So that's all. Thanks for coming. Please remember to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Also, share the channel to your friends. Remember, share the channels. Let's try to get the 1,000 subscribers. We need that.